I'm live. Live, I say. Good morning, everybody. If you're watching this as a rerun, you can skip ahead a boot. 16 minutes. I'm just getting the audio out here. We're getting ready to go. It is chilly in here, man. Holy moly. All right. Can a guy silence notifications on this here? Let's see if I can do that. Morning, Waylon. Let's see. Notifications. There. Hopefully that helps. Let's see what the hell's going on around the area. Dave, Minnesota, good morning. It's cold. We're below zero. We are, according to the NDSU extension tower that they put on top of the hill next to the ranch here, we are currently at 1 above with a wind chill of 17 below zero. Good morning, Karen. Hope everything is outstanding in Mobridge this morning. We are currently, let's see, I think they had yesterday's peak wind gust, 62 miles an hour. There you go. Relative humidity, 80%. Zero moisture. Looking at a high of 2 above today, and we're at 1 above right now, so I won't tell the difference on that. All I know is it was 25 degrees in the old little studio here this morning. I got her up to 32 right now. I don't know if anybody knows what a milk house heater is. That's what I got right behind me. I don't know if they even still call those things that or not. TikTok, they said, oh, I saw that one. Yeah. Well, I guess evidently tomorrow TikTok shuts down, huh? And I made enough. So I told my wife about that whole thing. I said I was just going to do it for the hell of it, right? And now I'm getting, I'm actually got enough likes and followers that they offered me to make money. So a whopping 50 cents. But the bad part is it links to your PayPal. And I have no idea. I haven't used PayPal since like, I think once on eBay, like years ago. I have no idea what my password is to get into that thing. So, morning, Jim. It is frigid. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I was gonna yesterday put out enough feed for my cows for 4 days, and like tuck it into certain areas. Then I looked at the wind, and the wind was going to change from so many different directions that sometimes it wouldn't work. So I'm going to maybe do that today. Next weekend, I'm on the road. I have bull sales starting up here next weekend. I'll be down in Union Center yeah. And then the stock show the following weekend. And then more bull sales and coyote tournaments the next weekend. So yeah, Acre International, February 11 to 12. Yeehaw. All right, 26 below wind chill here on the lake somewhere in eastern North Dakota. Yeah. Morning, is Mr. Bulgy. Yeah, it's and it's not even as cold yet. Wait till Monday. High of 6 below zero over here on this, where I'm at anyway. Morning, Master John. I better take my old ivermectin here before I get on the air. Choke it down with the nasty stuff. I think ivermectin tastes better than Lord Calvert, for crying out loud. Ugh. We started seeing this, you guys. You know, I've been doing the ivermectin for 4.5 years now. Good grief. And it was like, oh my God, yeah, a little over 4 years now because Trump's getting back in. Anyway, you can't do that. You can't take ivermectin. You can't do hydroxychloroquine or whatever the other one was, and they were just all against it. Now, what do you see on social media ads? Like 90% of the ads I have coming up on mine is ivermectin and this other stuff mixed together and all this kind of stuff. So, Mule Deer Banquet, February 8th at the Baymont. I got a bull sale that weekend too. I'm missing that one, Waylon. Morning, Dan Brown. Getting some hay set up for the cold spell as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that today. I'm going to put out some extra stuff. And I mean, Sunday, Monday is just, 20 below with wind chills of near 30, 40 below. Yeah. You've been seeing the ivermectin post too, Josh? Yeah. It just, all of a sudden, now here they come, right? Now it's okay. It's amazing how political everything is, right? Everything's political to the point where somebody says, yeah, it's a good thing. No, can't do it. Just because we don't believe in your theories. That's why I'm taking a weekend off of talking the political side of things. Well, maybe a little bit here, but we'll get into that here next week. We'll see how some of these bills are coming up in the legislature, both North and South Dakota. Zuckerberg, Facebook going free speech now. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. All right, so you want to talk a little bit before I call up? It's amazing to me how anti-Trump everybody was 4 years ago, right? The social media platforms, all that stuff. During these last 4 years, like, do you think like the light switch kind of flipped, and when people are going, "What the hell is going on here?" Right? I mean, you watch any of the Joe Rogan stuff when he had Trump on. I mean, Trump was calling some of this stuff out, years ago. What possibility could happen, and these things started happening, right? So it's hopefully the switch has been flipped, and they're like, maybe we need more common sense. I don't know. I just like what was it a month ago? Maybe not that long. All I know is I remember Trump on this one little video clip. I said somebody asked him about Hamas and all that, and he said, just a fair warning, if this isn't figured out by the time I get in, all hell break loose, right? And lo and behold, things changed. Granted, Biden took credit for it, but he's definitely respected on the other countries. That's all I got to say about that. Oh boy, let me get this set up quick. Back to Facebook.
Hello, you've reached Kevin Vaughn at Wild Walleye Outfitters. Leave your name.
Go straight to voicemail. I'm not going back to Facebook because all my ex-family and friends will block me anyway after I give them the double bird, yeah. Hope he didn't block my... There it is. Is that you?
Scott, can you hear me?
I can. There you are.
There we are. Okay.
You're live on YouTube right now before we start here in about 4.5 minutes.
Okay.
Lucky in here. Stations, I didn't do a countdown. I'll do it here. 7:01 on Mark. 7:01, 8:01 Central. Man. Josh I tried calling you and went straight to voicemail, and Josh messaged me on YouTube. He said, "Is his phone dead again?"
Well, the goofy thing is I was sitting there waiting in the parking lot, and I didn't even look. I thought, well, if I got service down on the lake, why wouldn't I have service in the parking lot? And of course, then as soon as we take off, I'm looking at my phone, no missed calls, no nothing. We hit the lake, and all of a sudden my phone starts going ding 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 ding, and I'm like looking at it, and it's like, oh, and then I was trying to call you, and it's like, oh, of course.
Yeah. Well, you were calling me on my cell phone, and I was already on the air with somebody else, and the Mayor Mobridge filled in for you.
Well, thank you for covering for me. Oh, it was quite the weekend last weekend. We ended up fishing through some nice cruddy weather, but we did end up taking home. We won the biggest bag limit and the biggest walleye, and I should have had the biggest perch. I had him on halfway up, and then he come off, and we watched him go straight down on the live scope, and we had a couple guys that were fishing right there with us, and he went straight over to the other guy's bobber and ate his minnow. He pulled him up. The only reason I lost him was because his lip ripped off. No, it was a pretty good weekend.
Where was that at?
That was over in Keyhole, Pine Haven, Wyoming.
Keyhole, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good deal.
It's a fun time.
Well, we'll get into that. It depends on how you're ice fishing. If you're sitting on a bucket out in the open, I don't know how much fun it would be here today. I don't know. What do you guys got there for? You guys getting some of this sub-zero temperature heading your way too?
Oh yeah, right now let me see what it is about 10 degrees out. The wind's blowing. It's not terrible right now, and it's a little snowy, but yeah, it's going to be a real booger. They're talking minus 22 with the low wind chills.
Yeah. It's going to be bitter, no doubt.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, these boys they're going to have a fight ahead of them, but whoever wins will get to go home with a payday.
Yeah, $1,500, huh? See that on your flyer here. Yeah.
Yep, $1,500, and then whoever takes biggest walleye is going to take, well, depending on who all gets in, but that'll be about another $500-$600 plus a shad, and then whoever catches the biggest ugly fish will win a little money today too. Well, tomorrow.
Big as ugly.
Yeah,
sounds like college.
Yeah. We don't have to talk about that, do we?
No, I don't. not that it's being recorded on YouTube. We can leave that one go.
Some subjects are just better untouched.
Yep.
While recorded live.
While recorded, yeah. Well, God darn it. I think we're gonna spend a little time with you here till the first break, and then I'll let you go so you can get all your check-in stuff done. And appreciate you making a little bit of time here for me this morning. I know it's a big day for you here down in the old Bellefouche Reservoir.
Yeah, be pretty exciting. The first year for this overnight tournament, and with all the phone calls and everybody, I think this is going to be our new format, and I think this may become one of the biggest tournaments out here in the Black Hills by far. Easy.
Nice.
I'm expecting anywhere between 50 and 100 people to show up today. So
good. Yeah.
Even with the cruddy weather.
Yeah. Well, that's what they make ice castles for. All right. We got 30 seconds to showtime, so stand by. I'm going to turn you down there, Kevin. Stations. I'll just go quiet here until we get going here. We'll start here. 20 seconds to showtime on Mark. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Heard all across the beautiful Dakota Territory on stations like KGFX out of Pierce, South Dakota. KOLY, Mobridge. We have K-Fire 550, Bismarck, Mandan. KCJB in the Minot area, KLTC in the Western Edge and Dickinson. Good to have you along here this morning on I'd like to say a beautiful Saturday morning. Well, we woke up on the right side of the dirt anyway, but sub-zero temperatures coming across the entire Dakota Territory. Please be careful and be safe out that way. But we have those people. We got these crazy people that think that they need to drive out on ice and do an ice fishing tournament here. Kevin Vaughn is one of them. Kevin, good morning from Wild Walleye Outfitters. How you doing?
Great, Scott. How are you doing on this beautiful day?
Oh, man. I haven't been outside yet, so I'm doing good. Yeah, I haven't. I got to
Well, I'll tell you what.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you what, it's every ice fisherman's dream, cold weather, and it's making ice.
It is. And it's going to make a lot of ice here through the weekend. But the big Wild Walleye Outfitter all-night ice fever fishing tournament kicks off this morning at the Belle-Fourche Reservoir. You starting to take in registration from 7:30 until 8:45. And tell us a little bit about this format of an all-night ice fever tournament here. How does that work?
So basically, everybody will come check in. It's individuals. There's no teams, so everybody's accountable for their own fish.
Okay.
They come, they sign up, they stage on the side of the lake, and then at 9 o'clock, they're allowed to set foot on the ice. The format is a catch, video, and release. So they catch a fish, they take a video of it with the bump board, and we have a length to weight conversion chart, and they'll all keep their own scorecards. And then at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, they have to have their scorecards back to me. And then we go over the scorecards. We pick out the top 6 guys. We watch their videos, and as long as their videos correlate with their scorecard, they're going to be your money winners.
I'll be darned. I've never heard of a all-night one like this, video only and release. If they do get a whopper, can they keep it? I mean, rules and regulations, can they keep it in there and take it home?
They can keep whatever they want. They just can't use it in my tournament.
Okay.
If it's not released, they can't use it in the tournament.
Fair enough. How did you get the idea on this format for this ice fishing tournament?
They actually used to do something like this up at Fort Peck, and it was I believe they called it the Fort Peck, or 24 hours on Fort Peck. And I had a buddy that fished it and kind of got me turned on to it, and I talked to a few of these other anglers and just kind of float the idea of it and see what everybody thought. But it sounded like most people seemed pretty interested in it, so we just decided that, we'd go ahead and give it a run for a year, see what everybody thought. I really liked the catch and release format. That way a guy's not killing a bunch of fish. And then this way, because they switched the slot limit up here to 2 fish.
Yeah.
Now if a guy was to fish a regular tournament, it'd be down to 2 fish. Well, this way with the catch, video, and release, all the fish you catch can be technically used. You just pick your best 6 videos to turn in. And that way now we don't have anybody culling fish and trying to high grade. It's just 100 times better for the fishery, and it just cuts out a lot of possible cheating.
Well, and it's too bad that you guys got to do that to get around the cheating side. But even on the professional side, we've seen cheating going on like crazy. So, it's a neat format. So, because slot limits, like when you took us out on Belle-Fourche Reservoir here this past summer, we caught a lot of walleye, but we couldn't keep the certain amount that we were catching because we already had our one in that slot limit. And it was difficult. I mean, what was it? You had to throw back anything from 15 inches to 19 inches or something, was it? Anything from 15 to 18 had to get thrown back. Yeah.
And like you say, a guy can go out and have a 40 fish day, and what we had 4 of us in the boats. You guys got to keep 4 fish that one day.
Yeah, because of the slot limit. Yeah.
So I really do like this new slot limit. It does allow a guy to take more fish home and clean. And it just opens it up and it protects them smaller fish, which even guiding, I kind of cut people off at about 12 and a half, 13-inch fish, just because there's nothing there to eat anything
Right.
smaller. And I mean, it's
Exactly.
just, what are you going to do with them? So this way, I think it is going to help improve the lake a lot. It is way overpopulated with them slot fish. This is going to open that up a little bit, clean some of them out of there. And I think it's going to, in the long run, make some bigger fish start growing up in that lake, because right now, them fish that are in the lake in that slot limit are the slowest growing fish in the state.
Yeah. Well, they're competing for the food. They're not getting as much food either. So it's hard to grow when you
Well,
can't feed
and
the machine, you know?
exactly. And that's the other big thing that's helped out here is game fishing parks. And I believe the High Plains Anglers, a local fishing club, have been helping out a lot, putting in a bunch of perch in this lake. And that has really, really improved these fish. Right now, they are looking so fat and happy. It is just crazy. And not just that, but when that walleye bite slows down a little bit in the afternoon, we've been actually able to go out and target perch
Yeah.
and chase them around a little bit. And I mean, that's not something a guy's been able to, say he's been able to do with confidence in the last 10 years.
Yeah. Well, and you like you get some of these lakes, like I know Devil's Lake up in North Dakota. I mean, you can target perch on certain spots, and people love to travel from far reaches of the United States to come up and ice fish in the Dakota Territory. So, by improving your fishery, it only helps. So, the question that you said that everybody lines up on the edge of the water here on the banks, and then on the shotgun start. How many of these people are taking their ice castles out there today so they can sit and get out of the wind and kind of relax all through the night until tomorrow morning?
There won't be a lot of ice castles. There'll be a couple small permies that go out,
Okay.
but 90% of these guys will be fishing out of hubs.
Okay.
These lakes up here, like right now, we're on about anywhere between 8 and 14 inches of ice. And actually, yesterday when I come up and check conditions, there was a big heave that had ripped open across the lake. So a guy just don't drive out on these lakes up here with pickups. Four-wheelers, side-by-sides, maybe a small ice house, 6x8, maybe an 8x14, 8x12 out there. But I mean, you're not going to see no ice castle,
No big ones,
and
yeah.
you're never going to see a pick. Well, I won't say never, but if you see the guy driving the pickup, careful when you shake his hand, because he's going to hurt you.
Well, we got 30 seconds. If people are listening in the Sturgis area and they're like, I want to get out there, who do they call? How do they get in touch with you if they want to come join you this morning?
Get on up here to the boat ramps. Sign up will start in about 15 minutes. It's open till 8:45. It's $100 to get in. There's a big fish buy-in, $10. There's an odd fish buy-in for $5. Like the flyer says, we get 50 plus people. First
Yep.
place is going to pay out $1,500. So,
All right, Kevin Vaughn, Wild
big
Walleye
thing.
Outfitters All Night Ice Tournament starting here in about 15 minutes with registration. Kevin, thanks for coming on. We'll have more coming up your way right after this break. Breeding Red Angus since 1988, the Schriefer Red Angus annual production sale will be a timed online sale this year from January 20th through the 25th. Selling 35 coming 2-year-old bulls, 5 per cycle bred registered heifers, and 80 top quality commercial open replacement heifers. For a catalog, video, and pictures, go to SchrieferRedAngus.com. Excellent maternal traits, quiet and easygoing dispositions. The Schriefer Red Angus annual production timed online only sale on DV Auction from January 20th through the 25th. Piper's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next round of sales coming up on January 23rd, land sales in Kidder County, Grand Forks County, and on the 24th, Dunn and Mercer counties, Burleigh County, and also Kidder County. And sales coming up at the end of the month in Pembina, Marshall, Divide, Clay, and Morton counties, as well as Stutzman, Kidder, and Mercer. And don't forget about Wednesday, February 12th, is the timed online Upper Midwest Equipment Auction. For more information and to bid with confidence, go to Pifers.com. The 31st annual Top Cut Bull Sale is Saturday, January 25th at the 21 Angus Ranch, New England, North Dakota, 1 p.m. sale time. Selling 170 Top Cut bulls featuring proven sires like Baldridge Flagstone, Ellingson Badlands, Musgrave Stunner, and Baldridge Pappy. Born and raised right at the ranch to give you well-mannered, extremely uniform, and deep-bodied genetics. No hoof trimming, no creep feed, and free wintering. For a catalog or to view sale videos, go to 21angus.com. Join the Wolf family for their 31st annual 21 Angus Ranch Top Cut Bull Sale, Saturday, January 25th at the ranch east of New England. Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com.
This is Todd with Rounds Angus Union Center. We invite you to join us at the ranch Saturday, January 25th at 1 o'clock. The bulls look really good and are ready to go to work. From the rough Badlands country and river breaks to rolling hills with big pastures, they are ready to travel. Come take a look at an honest set of bulls out of an honest set of hardworking cows. Give us a call at 605-347-0890. Hope to see you sale day, January 25th at 1 o'clock.
Hey everyone, it's Kaylee at Soretti Charlet Ranch. Our 42nd annual bull sale is January 24th at the ranch west of Bowman. We are offering 55 performance-tested yearling Charlet bulls, and new this year, 8 virgin age-advantaged Charlet bulls. As always, free delivery up to 300 miles, and we'll feed them free till April 1st. You can follow us at Facebook and DB Auction. Soretti Charlet, January 24th. If you haven't tried a Soretti Charlet bull, ask a cattleman that has. He's the one with the big smile on sale day.
Western Frontier Insurance, agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance, offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger.
The 31st annual Top Cut Bull Sale is Saturday, January 25th at the 21 Angus Ranch, New England, North Dakota, 1 p.m. sale time. Selling 170 Top Cut bulls featuring proven sires like Baldridge Flagstone, Ellingson Badlands, Musgrave Stunner, and Baldridge Pappy. Born and raised right at the ranch to give you well-mannered, extremely uniform, and deep-bodied genetics. No hoof trimming, no creep feed, and free wintering. For a catalog or to view sale videos, go to 21angus.com. Join the Wolf family for their 31st annual 21 Angus Ranch Top Cut Bull Sale, Saturday, January 25th at the ranch east of New England.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Freedom Repair. Whether it's a tractor, baler, your cutter, your combine, or air seeder, Freedom Repair comes to you and helps you get fixed up and back in the field. 19 plus years experience. Give Lucas Kelly a call at 701-440-1945. That's 701-440-1945. Freedom Repair, veteran owned and operated.
Good morning. Welcome back, everybody. It is Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. You got to love it. Got to love it. Ice fishing tournament this morning down in the Belfouche Reservoir. We've got a lot of tournaments no matter what it is around the corner. Now, this might be a little – this is how you know it's live radio, all right? I had a gentleman with the Pheasants Forever lined up to come talk with us and discuss a few things. And I don't know what happened. Maybe he's out shoveling sidewalks or putting some ice, snow melt down or something. But no answer. So until we get caught up with that guy here, it's basically open lines. If you want to call in and talk about whatever you want to talk about, we can discuss that at no problem at all here. 888-932-5682 is my studio number. That again is 888-9-DAKOTA, 932-5682. And you can do that. You can text it, and well, it's easier if you call in and we can discuss that. But we got a lot of tournaments going on here, coyote tournaments and fishing tournaments. We'll go through some of these and appreciate after last Saturday. We discussed a few of them, and they threw a few of those at me and emailed them to me, and I do appreciate that. Coming up next weekend is the Double D tournament out of Butte, North Dakota. The third annual Wayne Wagner Memorial Coyote Hunt is coming up on Saturday, February 8th at the Slope County Fairgrounds on Amadon. That's going to be a fun one. I got bull sales on the same weekend, and that tournament, hopefully everybody gets out and has a lot of fun here. 2025 Leeds York Sportsman Club Predator Hunts coming up this weekend here. They started here this weekend, and that's two-person teams. The Rock Lake Boosters Coyote Hunts, February 14, 15, and 16. What else is here? Yeah, the baiting bill in Bismarck. You call on in. We'll discuss that. It's not so much a baiting bill as I feel it's a hunting restriction bill, but we can discuss that. The big buck contest in Grant County Fair Boards, they're having that next weekend. Or is that this weekend? That's this weekend here. That's tonight, 7 o'clock at the Grant County Fair Building in Carson. Feel free to stop in. There are different categories between whitetail, mule deer, and what have you. The Wild Walleye Outfitter, of course, they're having that here this morning. The Richard Clement Post 299, they're having their coyote hunt January 24, 5, and 6. That's next weekend. And let's see here. Scobie, Montana sent this in. We have a lot of reach on Dakota Prairie Outdoors. So Scobie, Montana having their Coyote Derby February 28th through March 2nd. 40th Annual Lake Ashtabula Fishing Tournament is going on here January 25th. Let's see, the first annual 40-hour Fur Fest Coyote Calling Contest, February 7, 8, and 9 out of Sydney, Montana. And let's see, Hereford Volunteer Fire Department, that's this weekend. They're having that. They're already coyote hunting on that one night right now. The High Stakes Calling Classic out of Eagle Butte, South Dakota. That is a fun tournament. That's going on this week, and I entered that one time. And besides buckles, they got some, it is a high payout, there's no doubt. The 4th Annual Branded Bar, I believe that's Flasher, is going on here this weekend. So if anybody's bored and wants to head down there tonight, I'm sure that they'll have a lot of fun going on at Branded Bar. The Frankfort Fire Department Coyote Hunt is going on February 14th, Valentine's. It's like, honey, I got a tournament. We can't do this today. 2025 Coyote Hunt coming up for Fort Atchison, I believe, the Rifle and Archery Club, February 8th. Prairie Riders is Saturday, January 25th at the clubhouse in Hannaford. The Nakoma Fire Department is going on this week. Their coyote hunt's happening this weekend. The Big Buck Contest, February 8th out of Beulah Civic Center. Next weekend is the Cedar Lodge Coyote Calling Classic. And let's see, the High Plains Anglers Coyote Calling Contest is February 15th. Hart City out of Valentine, Nebraska. They sent me a message here, said to get some information because all the great radio stations down in South Dakota. Theirs is coming up February 7th and 8th. Let's see what else is going on here. The Allendale 10th Annual Predator and Varmint Hunt, January 31st, February 1 and 2. Yeah. Let me say, you're going to be there too? Governor's Ball tonight at the Bismarck Civic Center. Okay. Well, the Pickerel Lake Lodge Ice Fishing Tournament's going on this weekend. Java Fire Department Predator Hunt is February 1st. And the American Legion Post out of Martin, South Dakota's 5th Annual is coming up next weekend. January 24, 25, and 6 here. February 15th is the Brandon Colstead Memorial Hunt. And let's see, hold on here. Let's see. Ellendale, we did that one. The Winter Jamboree Coyote Hunt is coming up Friday the 24th. And let's see where this is out of here. The Winter Jamboree. I like where they put it's nice if you put what town it is on some of these posters, but this one doesn't say anywhere on that here. Out of Beach, North Dakota Trap Club is having theirs February 7 and 8. And that kind of wraps up Riva, South Dakota, 20th Annual Calling Contest, February 21 and 22, Riva, South Dakota. That's about it there. So there you go. All right, you want to talk about baiting bill. All right, call in here. Jamie, give me a call because we'll definitely discuss some of this here. What's going on with it? I'm out of touch with it. I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. I know yesterday they had a lot of people show up in support and against it. So that's as much as I know on it, but I think we need to call it what it is instead of a baiting bill. I think it's a hunting restriction because it is legal in the state of North Dakota to put feed at any time, anywhere across the entire part of the state. But there are restrictions in certain units on hunting over it. So it's not necessarily baiting, it's right. I mean, if you're restricted to hunt on it, it's a hunting restriction bill, not a baiting bill. Call it what it is, right? I mean, honestly, call it what it is. 888-932-5682 if you want to call in and discuss that. A couple of updated things on the mountain lion season across North and South Dakota. South Dakota, a little bit on the slow side, but we'll see that kind of pick up. They have a total of 18 taken now, 11 females, 7 males. Their count is steadily growing here, but the last week it really didn't grow a whole lot here. The last one taken on January 12th. In North Dakota Zone 1, late season still open, and right now 4 males and 1 female have been taken. The limit is 7, or when the first 3 females have been taken. The last one was on January 6th, is when it was last updated here. So mountain lion season still open. There's still hunting to do around the area. There's no doubt about that. So coming up your way. More on the baiting bill. Somebody didn't like when I texted and called it a hunting restriction bill. What would you call it? If you can legally put feed anywhere you want, all across the state of North Dakota, the only restriction is you cannot hunt on it. What would you call it? Is that a baiting bill or a hunting restriction bill? I don't know. I mean, it all depends on which way you look at it here. And I'm just calling it what I see on the bills itself, And both North and South Dakota got quite a few bills coming up this year, and I think it's going to be an interesting one. Got a new North Dakota governor here, Kelly Armstrong, Western North Dakota guy, going to be in there, and down in South Dakota, Kristi Noem is onto the national side, being part of Trump's cabinet, and they're looking at the lieutenant governor taking over down there. So it's kind of new for everybody here this year in the Dakota Territory. Pretty interesting to see how that's going to end up, if it makes a difference at all. Who knows? So other than that, we're going to go into the second half of the hour, see if I can get Jim Martin back on the phone line here with me, see if he's willing to come on and answer the phone. If not, we'll have open lines continuing through the second half of the show as well. Now, a big thing that you want to remember right now, this is something that loses people's minds. It's lost in your mind at this point because hunting season for a lot of things is technically over. In my mind, right now is the time to start making the connections for the 2025 year. Okay. Whether it's bull hunting, pheasant hunting, deer or elk hunting, now's the time. It is sub-zero temperatures coming in. A lot of people that have cattle are still going out and making sure the cattle are taken care of and fed. And some people are even calving at this time of the year right now. And just take that in mind and keep it in the back of your mind, and give those folks a call every once in a while, see and make sure they're doing okay, or say, is there anything you need help with? And most of the time you're going to get the answer, no, I got it covered, right? That's what they always say. But there's always a couple things here and there that might need to be taken place. Maybe something to be picked up, maybe a water tank to be thawed out or unfroze or something like that. But either way, and coyotes, that's the year-round season, ladies and gentlemen, and thermal season is still open. And we'll talk about that. If I can't get old Jim on the phone here, we'll talk a little bit about the thermal side of things on the way too. Plus, if you have questions, comments, feel free to call in 888-932-5682, 5682 on that, 9888-9-Dakota. And we'll be back with more on Dakota Prairie Outdoors coming up your way all across the Dakota Territory on great radio stations. We'll be back right after these messages.
Breeding Red Angus since 1988. The Schriefer Red Angus annual production sale will be a timed online sale this year from January 20th through the 25th. Selling 35 coming 2-year-old bulls, 5 per cycle bred registered heifers, and 80 top quality commercial open replacement heifers. For a catalog, video, and pictures, go to SchrieferRedAngus.com. Excellent maternal traits, quiet and easygoing dispositions. The Schriefer Red Angus annual production timed online only sale on DV auction from January 20th through the 25th.
Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next round of sales coming up on January 23rd, land sales in Kidder County, Grand Forks County, and on the 24th, Dunn and Mercer counties, Burleigh County, and also Kidder County. And sales coming up at the end of the month in Pembina, Marshall, Divide, Clay, and Morton counties, as well as Stutzman, Kidder, and Mercer. And don't forget about Wednesday, February 12th, is the timed online Upper Midwest Equipment Auction. For more information and to bid with confidence, go to Pfeifers.com. The 31st annual Top Cut Bull Sale is Saturday, January 25th at the 21 Angus Ranch, New England, North Dakota, 1 p.m. sale time. Selling 170 Top Cut bulls featuring proven sires like Baldridge Flagstone, Ellingson Badlands, Musgrave Stunner, and Baldridge Pappy. Born and raised right at the ranch to give you well-mannered, extremely uniform, and deep-bodied genetics. No hoof trimming, no creep feed, and free wintering. For a catalog or to view sale videos, go to 21angus.com. Join the Wolf family for their 31st annual 21 Angus Ranch Top Cut Bull Sale, Saturday, January 25th at the ranch east of New England.
Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com.
This is Todd with Rounds Angus Union Center. We invite you to join us at the ranch Saturday, January 25th at 1 o'clock. The bulls look really good and are ready to go to work. From the rough Badlands country and river breaks to rolling hills with big pastures, they are ready to travel. Come take a look at an honest set of bulls out of an honest set of hardworking cows. Give us a call at 605-347-0890. Hope to see you sale day, January 25th at 1 o'clock.
Hey everyone, it's Kaylee at Soretti Charlie Ranch. Our 42nd annual bull sale is January 24th at the ranch west of Bowman. We are offering 55 performance-tested yearling Charlie bulls, and new this year, 8 virgin age-advantaged Charlie bulls. As always, free delivery up to 300 miles, and we'll feed them free till April 1st. You can follow us at Facebook and DB Auction. Soretti Charlie, January 24th. If you haven't tried a Soretti Charlie bull, ask a cattleman that has. He's the one with the big smile on sale day.
Western Frontier Insurance, agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger.
The 31st annual Top Cut Bull Sale is Saturday, January 25th at the 21 Angus Ranch, New England, North Dakota, 1 p.m. sale time. Selling 170 Top Cut bulls featuring proven sires like Baldridge Flagstone, Ellingson Badlands, Musgrave Stunner, and Baldridge Pappy. Born and raised right at the ranch to give you well-mannered, extremely uniform, and deep-bodied genetics. No hoof trimming, no creep feed, and free wintering. For a catalog or to view sale videos, go to 21angus.com. Join the Wolf family for their 31st annual 21 Angus Ranch Top Cut Bull Sale, Saturday, January 25th at the ranch east of New England.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Freedom Repair. Whether it's a tractor, baler, your cutter, your combine, or air seeder, Freedom Repair comes to you and helps you get fixed up and back in the field. 19 plus years experience. Give Lucas Kelly a call at 701-440-1945. That's 701-440-1945. Freedom Repair, veteran owned and operated.
Welcome back, everybody. Good to have you along on a Saturday morning, I'd like to say, but it's going to be a sub-zero weekend this weekend, especially going into tonight and tomorrow and Monday. In my area, it says only a high of 6 below on Monday, but I know there's plenty of other areas that are getting a lot colder than that. Hey, I'll tell you what, Jamie Breck says, you know what, Scott, I'm not going to leave you hanging. He's going to call in. Good morning, Jamie.
Morning, Scott. Enjoy coming on with you, buddy. Haven't been on with you in a while. Enjoy it.
Well, that's because you're famous on your own program, on your own podcast now. So
I don't know about famous, but I enjoy doing it.
It's
glad
the same
like
way.
it.
I put in, I think I counted up the other day, 12 requests to Governor Nome when she was on here. I have one request in for the lieutenant governor right now. Kelly Armstrong, I haven't bothered him since the election just because I haven't done that, right? So I gotta put a request in for him, but I'm trying to get these folks on here, but I know they're busy. It's hard to just step into a new job, right?
Yeah, and so you got 12 requests in for Governor Nome?
Yeah, and one of them, the 13th, was in person in Rapid City, and she said, go talk to my lady, and I talked to the lady, and that didn't go anywhere either. So I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know, man.
That's depressing. She seems like a nice person, but I don't know, maybe not, huh?
I'm sure she's a nice enough person. I'm thinking that I'm thinking she's like, who? What? Who?
Well, hey,
especially when my show is on the capital city and Pier, I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You've been on 20 years, man. In my mind, Scott, you are a radio legend. I'm not just saying that because you're my friend, but I think you are. So she should come on. Hey, Christy, if you're listening, get on the show with Scott. People want to hear you. They want to hear you and Scott talk here.
No, I'm going for the lieutenant governor that's now taken over the governor. Christy's in Washington right now. She just had her hearings, I think, this last few days in the Senate and House, didn't they? The confirmation hearings or whatever it is.
In my opinion, did great, man. She smoked them guys pretty good who were trying to get the gotchas on her. But so who's the lieutenant governor down there? What's his? The guy? It's a guy, right?
It is. And you're putting me on the spot.
I didn't misgender him, did I?
No, there's only two genders on this show, Jamie. So
right.
You put me on the spot here. I just went on to the webpage and I sent the email through the governor's page. So hopefully honestly, I don't know. I feel bad. I don't know what North Dakota's lieutenant governor is either. I have no idea. So I don't.
Right now, you don't?
No, I don't keep track of that stuff, man. I don't.
It's Michelle Strindon.
There you go. I would have no idea. My head has been.
Wayne's going. Go ahead, Scott.
I said you got to understand. Larry Roden. There you go. Thank you, Orrin. Larry Roden is lieutenant governor down in, or the new governor. It's not lieutenant anymore. He's the governor of South Dakota now. So
yeah.
All right, I get it.
Yeah.
All my South Dakota people are going after me right now.
I hear your dinger going there. But good. Hey, you got a bunch of people in Sodak listening, then for sure, right?
It's so unfortunate in my mind that I don't know that. It's like you not knowing who the vice president of the United States is. I mean, you should know who the governor and lieutenant governor is, but I just, over all the years, I think Drew Wrigley is the only lieutenant governor I've ever interviewed in my life. So just he ranches. Holy cow, he ranches out of Union Center. Well, we got a bull sale going on there next weekend. Maybe, Larry, if you're coming over, let's see if you can get him to the bull sale. See if we can get him to Rounds bull sale.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it right from the bull sale. How would that be?
That would be fun. Speaking of which, if you're going to the Schriefer Red Angus, they're on a timed online sale this year. I forgot to mention this earlier. They are doing showcasing their bulls on the place. If you want to go see them Friday, January 24th and 25th from 1 to 4 Central Time, both days. You can come anywhere between now and then to see the animals, but they're showcasing them next Friday, Saturday from 1 to 4. So there you go. All right, Jamie, I am contemplating in my mind on upgrading my thermal scope. I've been trying to talk myself into this because it's an expensive venture. I mean, and I'm not even looking at super expensive because I found out that there's like $20,000 thermal scopes out there. And, the first scope I bought was this ATN one, and it works fine. It does. But I think that the newer technology is just going to help me a little bit better. And I'm thinking about going into the Pulsar Thermion side of things. And they're running about $7,000 to $7,500. Now, this is the way I call this rancher math. All right. How many calves can I save in order to pay this? Well, right now it doesn't take more than 3-4 calves, and you got that paid off in your mind. That's rancher math, right? Is that the
Right.
right way to look at it? Or does a guy just look at yourself and say, you know what, you only live once, get what you want to get and have fun?
I'd say it's about 50-50 there. I mean, it's a win-win for you, buddy. Yeah, you got to protect your your income and your investment there on the ranch. I would say that's number one for sure. Number two, yeah, you only live once. I do know people who have them pulsars, a couple of my buddies, and those things are freaking awesome.
Are they good?
Super clear. Yeah. I mean, our neighbor, my dad's neighbor, has sent me videos. I mean, I'm talking like 450, 500 yards away, and it looks almost like you're looking through your regular scope.
Mm-hmm.
It's that clear. I was super impressed with it. So, and I said, don't miss when you shoot that far either, because I want them things dead.
Yeah.
We don't have cattle out there now, but I do. Our neighbor does, but I want the deer. I want the deer to survive is my thing there, Scott, because we rent out our property.
So there's another thing. I talked to somebody the other day, a biologist, and he was out of Montana. And this biologist told me that in Montana, he says one coyote will take anywhere from 5 to 12 deer fawns a year.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So you got to look at that and say that's quite a bit. I mean, especially like in my area where there's hardly any deer left after EHD, and now you're looking at the coyote population is outrageous right now.
Yeah, and what blows my mind is, Tans. I mean, I'm not kidding you when I say it seems like he's killed hundreds of them things over the last 2 winters. He's piling them up now, and he said it's not even making a dent in them, it blows my mind. Where do these things hide?
Yeah.
From his place, Scott, he said from his place, which is probably not even about maybe half a mile to the southeast of my dad's, to the other end of our pasture, which as a crow flies, will probably take you 2.5, 3 miles. He figures there's 50 coyotes just within that area, which I said, you're full of it. And he said, no, I'm not. They're there. And if he wipes them out, they come back from somewhere else.
Yeah, it's nuts here. So you want to hear some logic from Jay Berg?
Yeah.
He says, just upgrade to a good scope. Think somebody told me once, you can't take your money with you, especially the wife's money. Half of nothing is still nothing when she leaves you.
That's some good logic right there.
Well, if you put it that way, I guess I might be ordering one then.
Yeah, right when you're off the show, you just get it done. Did you ever buy that newest Burris Eliminator?
No, I didn't. I got a story on that too, from somebody else. But so I'm looking at this. If you're a farmer and you need fertilizer, seed, you need parts for this, or maybe upgrade your monitor in your tractor, you get it done because that's part of your business expense, right? That's just part of, when you're ranching and or if you're raising cattle or however you want to do it, that's part of your livelihood too. So I think any of that stuff is worth upgrading every once in a while. Riley says, in all seriousness, the handheld spotter is priceless. I don't have one of those, and I think you're right. I would love to get like a really nice pair of binoculars, spotter or something like that, monocular or whatever they call them. But yowza, those are pretty spendy too.
So can you write that off as a ranch expense because you're actually helping your cattle if you get one?
You can. It's called predator control. It is. I mean, you can. There's no doubt about that.
I'm really in on you buying it.
I appreciate. I take donations too. By the way.
Hey, speaking of that real quick, them caps and shirts you gave me, I could never get anybody to give me any money for them, so I had to just give a couple away, and I still got a bunch. Remember that?
Just give them all away.
I was like, God, maybe. I was like, I see why Scott gave these to me and wanted me to try and sell them. It ain't working. It's like when you make swag for Dakota Prairie Outdoors, or we do nobody wants to pay for it.
No, everybody just wants it free. Yeah. So buddy Jim here on YouTube says, I told you once before, Scott, there's no sense being the richest man in the cemetery. Master John says,
that's good stuff.
He says Christy Nome is a distant cousin of his. Well, throw a little good luck my way, my friend here. Help me out. So,
yeah.
But there, yeah. 1,600 to 2,000 for a good spotter. Maybe
So when you're saying spotter, you mean like a handheld thermal?
Yeah.
Like Okay.
which is nice because I mean the way I do it, I take my rifle out there and I'm scanning with my rifle scope, and it is cumbersome to do that when you could just be using a handheld one. That way you can know spot them here quicker and faster and easier.
Do you think they're getting smart to night calling too? And I mean, are they figuring that out a little bit, or are they still? I mean,
oh, absolutely. There's no doubt. I mean, they're dogs, man. I mean, they're canines. They're going to learn the behavior, but it depends on how often and what areas you're doing it. Some people just sit over dead animals, right? If they find a dead pile somewhere and they sit over, they don't do any calling. You can sit and shoot them all night long. And you just got to take a little bit of time between shots. If you're going out to the same places you call during the daytime and try to do it, they're going to get smart eventually. Absolutely.
What do you use when you night hunt now for your rifle? That Creed, or are you using that? What do you got? A 28 nostril or a 30 nostril? I can't remember.
For night hunting?
Yeah,
I have my ATN on a 223 rifle.
God's cartridge even.
Well,
okay.
The reason, and somebody asked me, thermal with rangefinder, is it a must here on the text message? Here, is it a must? No. So like my scope right now that I use my, I think it's ATN Thor 4 or whatever it's called. I am comfortable where I'm shooting at, where I take it to do night hunting. I know the ranges. I know what, with what 300 yards is. I don't shoot any further than that with my 223 because personally it's not effective at on a coyote at that range anything further out. Will it kill it? Probably, but I want to make sure they're dead. Like you said, I want to make sure they're dead. All right. So the new scope I'm looking at, the Pulsar does have the long range or laser rangefinder LRF on it. And I personally believe if you're not familiar with the ground that you're hunting, you need one of those laser rangefinders on that scope, because if you think it's 200 yards and sun comes up the next day and you're like, holy cow, it was way past that mark. It was way further than I thought. And that happened the first couple of times I went out. There's no doubt. But yeah.
I would definitely take, I mean, when the guys I know that got them, I get the video, man, it's like a scan mode even, right? The distance on them. That's awesome. I would definitely go with, a matter of fact, Scott, I just recently, last week, first time I finally bought a pair range finding binos. So I haven't tried them out. I just kind of focus for my eye. I'm gonna give them a go next time I'm out. I'm jacked up. I was especially bull hunting. I detest bull hunting, holding my binos and my rangefinder. And I kind of range stuff like you said to know the distance. But I mean, if you're putting the stock on there somewhere where you haven't been a lot, you don't know the range. But it's just one. I'm looking forward to trying them out and seeing. They're actually the Vortex HDs. Theories, but
I'm telling you right now that rangefinder, in my mind, is one of the best hunting instruments ever invented. It's just
agreed.
You're taking. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, back in the day, before this all came out, I could judge stuff with my 270 pretty nicely. Right, I never really had to worry too much, but I never hunted anything that was real far away either. Like my elk hunt, I would have never taken that shot if I was not comfortable as I am now with the buroscopes and all the technology that's come in here. Riley Schriefer says, if you're getting into night hunting, it's a must to have the rangefinder in it. Do it, but have it integrated. Do not get the ones that come as an aftermarket. The ATN does that. They're junk. Plain and simple. Sorry,
it plugs into it or something?
Well, yeah, you mount it on the top of your scope and it's supposed to integrate and talk, and it's junk. Okay, and ATN people, I'm sorry to say that. There's better ways, and I think ATN has better way. Again, I got into it for $3,500, which was plenty of money, but I have probably saved 25 calves during calving season over the last few years, just during calving season. And that were in my calving. It had to be more than that. I think that one week I shot like 20 some coyotes in that first week with it. all in my calving pasture. So
really,
yeah. I had the.
How far out do when you're looking through that ATM, how far out is it clear? Like you can really make it out that it's a coyote. I mean, if you didn't know, let's say you gave it to me and I never looked through it, and then I saw a coyote at like 400 yards, do I know it's a dog?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
There is a point where you have to be careful beyond, I think, like, let's say 400 yards and out. If it's a white-tailed doe laying down, you might have to double check it a little bit. But if they're standing and moving, it's a it's a coyote. It's a rabbit. It's a porcupine. It's a raccoon. It's a badger. I mean, it's pretty easy.
Sweet.
Yeah, and that's on old technology too.
So if it's at 400, do you got drop reticles in your scope, or has it got turrets? How do you know where your hold is?
There's different reticles that you can switch through inside of it. But for me, like I said, I'm only shooting 300 yards and in, so I don't have to move it very much. I zeroed my 223, zeroed at a 200, so I can shoot 100, I can shoot 300, anything in between, and not have to worry. But
so it's just dead hold for you then, 300 even, or do you got to hold a little higher?
Yeah, well, I don't take anything after that. Like I said, I'm only hunting areas where I know the ranges. I have not taken it out and tried to call.
What do you use it for ammo then? What's your bullet?
I think I got 53s in there. I'm shooting 53s.
Them ones, the Hornady ones you had, that big pile of them when I was out there.
Yeah, I still got more of them. Yeah.
Oh man.
When somebody gives you like 5,000 rounds and I don't do steel shooting or target shooting, they last me a long time.
Yeah, for sure. Well, even if you did 5,000 rounds, 5,000. I just actually did a deal. I don't know if you caught it when I did my live stream about barrel life. And so the 223, this is from Hornady's thing, Scott. Their average barrel life is stainless steel barrel, not shooting, rapid fire, but 4,949. So if you get 5,000 rounds, you probably got yourself a time for a new barrel.
Well, I haven't been through 5,000 rounds. I'm just saying.
You're good, man.
I bet you I still have 4,500 rounds left out of that. So
really?
Oh yeah.
Well, so that day I was down there, I probably shot more rounds than you have in one day when you give them to me to shoot prairie dogs.
So I got a couple questions. Tim says, would you buy that thermal, that pulsar, through a store or via the internet? I would like to buy it through a store because I'd like to grab it, hold it, look through it, and see it. But there's not many stores that really have these on hand because they're so expensive for the store to keep on hand. So I might have to just go with buying it through the company itself, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see. If there's a company that has one, I'd like to look at it. And now the pulsar says Riley says they have applied ballistics in the thermals. You can essentially have a burst eliminator at night, range it, pulls up a holdover for you, the whole works. So the new pulsars are just like that. So yeah, that's awesome. See, Scott, we're up against there. Scott Nelson is on hold here, or the number coming in. You stay with me. We're close to, give me 60 seconds here. We're up against the end for the radio side of things here, but make sure we get through all the questions tonight. The Governor's Ball, and you're going to that, Jamie. You're dressing up in a tuxedo for one first time since marriage.
Yep. Yeah, I've been in a few weddings, but yeah, I'm going in the tux, and Clayton's coming up. He's gonna have his top tux on, and the cowboy tuxedo. So pretty much probably what he had when he was running the NRA around. So yeah, should be fun.
You guys gonna match bow ties and everything? Is that what you guys gonna do?
Yeah, no, when Clay's going to go in first, I'm going to take that cane and crack him in the back of the legs like Dumb and Dumber and drop him.
Remember, it's just like Seinfeld. It's all about the entrance. You got to make a big entrance. So thanks a lot, Jamie, for coming on. Stay with me here as we stay on the line here. We'll continue to hold on here. We'll talk with the rest of the folks that are on hold here. We'll continue on the YouTube side. Have yourself a good weekend, everybody. Eat some meat, drink some milk, wear fur and wool, and support your farmers and ranchers and landowners out there today. All right, stations. Thank you so much here, Jamie. We're going to go here. Let's go to, it says Scott Nelson on it. Is it Scott or is it Levi?
No, it's his dad.
It's Scott. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, doing okay.
Good.
Yeah, it was 0 degrees here, so So it's pretty warm compared to what it's going to be. So
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm gonna.
but, yeah, I should have. I couldn't find your number, and then I called Levi, and he didn't have your number, and so I finally found it. But I got in kind of late. I just had something about. Did you hear about that Mark Zuckerberg being interviewed by Joe Rogan?
I did not.
I did.
Well, he was talking about, I like hunting and I like getting my own meat, and then Joe Rogan, well, what do you hunt? Oh, I use bow and arrow. And who uses that term? Usually people say bow hunting. And then he asked, well, what kind of bow do you use? And he says, well, I really don't know. I didn't hunt this last fall. And then he says, well, who taught you how to bow hunt? And then he says, some of the guys out at my ranch showed me how, and it just turned into, he had absolutely no idea what he was talking about, but he tried to put himself out there. Yeah, I go out and shoot my own meat, and and all that stuff, and it kind of caught me. It was kind of humorous, how these guys try to make themselves, to be a common person. And
they're changing their tune because Zuckerberg was big and supported PETA for so many years too. He gave a lot of money to PETA, and now all of a sudden he's into hunting. Surprising,
right? Yeah, supposedly, but yeah, that's all I had. So
just trying to appeal. Humorous. Trying to appeal to the masses is what they're doing now.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, man.
So, okay. Talk to you later.
You bet. See ya. So there you go. Jamie, any last great words for the YouTubers?
I was just going to say on the Zuckerberg thing, it was like when Tim Walz tried to act like he knew his way around a shotgun like the back of his hand, and he couldn't. That's what Zuckerberg, it was even worse with Zuckerberg. I watched it, and it was pretty cringy, Don't try and act like you know something about something, especially on something like Rogan show, and you got hundreds of thousands watching it, and you look. Scott, I hope he changes his tune on Facebook and stuff, because how it is. There's social media outlets where most people see your stuff, and a lot of people are on. Getting them to switch is just like pulling teeth. And I hope he changes ways, because I'm sick of getting kicked off of stuff like that for doing nothing illegal or nefarious. It sucks. I hate when that happens, and whether he's truly a hunter or not, which I don't think he is, I hope he changes his ways a little bit here.
Yeah. I think they're just going to go with the feel of the crowd is what they're going to do, but they're still going to censor certain things. You know that. Yeah. I mean, they're not going to allow you to put any pictures of any dead animals on there. And the worst, the stupidest thing is like when you try to sell a horse, you can't put a price. Just dumb things like that. I mean, you're not breaking any laws, but I mean, you can't even sell a horse without hiding the price or doing something before they tear you down. So that's stupid.
Yeah, or raffle off a freedom stick or something. You know how that works, right? They zap you right away if you put that up there. Yeah. What got me is if you do that, Scott, they'll get you right away. But the guy who did that mass driving his car through everybody there down in New Orleans, he posted the day before what his plan was on Facebook. They couldn't find what a mass murder was going to do, but if you want to talk about something about firearms, they can find you in 2 seconds and zap you. Does that make any sense? No.
Jamie says a neighbor of Jamie sold a $7,000 scope, bought a $3,500 scope, bought a good spotter in exchange, shot 96 coyotes this year alone.
Damn. Wow.
Nice.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's all right.
So what was the deal with you and the new Burris Eliminator, the newest edition?
Oh,
or you said that was all.
I gotta get so my John Paul Chesky down in Scranton, and I just found this out the other day. Right for Christmas, his wife and kids got together and they bought him the new Burris number 6, Burris Eliminator 6, and he opened it and said, "No, that's too much," and he made him return it. And I'm like, I said, buddy, you call Scott next time you don't want a damn Burris 6. I said, I'd take that all damn day long. Good grief, man. And his wife was I was on speakerphone. His wife was in the background. He's like, yeah, you got to go get him checked out. He must not be feeling good. I was like, what the hell? He's like, oh, it's just too much. He says, I'm just stuck in my old ways that, the parents don't need that stuff. And I'm like, all right, man. I'm like, as much hunting.
Well, you know what you didn't tell him?
As much hunting as you do? Come on.
Yeah. Hey, he said he didn't need it. Scott, it's the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Needs, man.
Well, I'm just saying.
And it's like you said, if you're using it to hunt, I mean, hey, and if the family thought they could afford it, what the heck, right? I don't think they're gonna put the Palczewski family in debt, thrown together and buying out a new scope.
Well, I think it's like a $2,200 or $2,400 scope, which, I mean, the bursts,
okay,
the ones I had were like 14, 15 when I started buying those 3s or 4s or whatever I have, but I was like the 6, man, the 6 takes, like I have to put in what in part of that formula that you enter into the scope, you have to figure out your elevation, and then you pick an average like temperature that you thinking you're going to hunt in. Well, it changes throughout the winter. So I have to, every time I go out there, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do sets here, I'm average of 2,800 feet. And now I'd probably be setting it to like 15, 20 degrees. Right. And it helps. The new 6, the Burris 6 does all that stuff for you. Automatic elevation, automatic temperature, and barometric pressure. All of that is automatic.
Wow.
So
it's small, right? It's way smaller than the older ones.
That I don't know. I haven't seen one in person yet, but what I'm looking at is if it's doing all that work for me, because I can go on top of my highest hill out here and I'm at 3,000 feet. And then I go down to my feed grounds and I'm at 2,500 feet. I have such different a change. And temperature wise too, that makes a big difference. When you're shooting 600 plus yards on coyotes, you need that. That makes a difference. It really does.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Big time. Like you say it that right. And yeah, the one I see, Scott, to me, I'm sure it looks just like almost like one of them scopes with the big 30 millimeter tube. It looks fat like that, but yeah, it looks pretty much like a regular scope with a few of them buttons on the side for stuff. So
I got to look at it here. I'm pulling up a picture of it.
Yeah.
It looks a lot more like a regular scope. Absolutely.
Yeah. Way smaller. That was one. What I know, it's a dumb thing to say, but the older ones, I never did like the looks of them on a rifle. But they work. There's no doubt. I remember. I think I told you that before. Jesse came out once coyote hunting at the ranch, and he had one. I shot that thing at 600. Man, that thing was right on the money. I was pretty impressed with it.
Yeah, they're damn nice. Yeah, and it takes a little bit getting used to looking through them. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on inside, but I think the glass got updated from the 3s and 4s and like the 5s. I think they updated the glass and they updated it again here in the 6. And but yeah, I'd tell you everything.
What does it cost? You're looking at it. What's the cost of it if you're looking at it?
This one says $3,000, but I seen them at like $2,400 to $2,500 in some other online formats. I have never checked like Shields or any place that would probably carry Runnings in Dickinson doesn't have squat for scopes. They don't have. I went in there and I said, I want to see your most expensive thermal scope, and they brought out a $800 one. I'm like, really? I'm like, don't you have the pulsars? They're like, no, we can get them though. I'm like, can you get a pulsar Thermion 2 XL60 in? And they look, they're like, we can, but you got to put 20% down. I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to buy it yet or not. I said, I want to see it. I want to play. I want to touch it. I want to see it in person. They're like, yeah, you're going to have to buy it in order. I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that. I said, if I'm going to do that, I'll just go online and buy it myself. I said, I don't have to go through you.
Close. Well, yeah, I mean, I would think that if you're that close to the oil money and all those guys, oil patch workers most of them guys are country boys who like guns and whatnot, you think you wouldn't mind having that because they'd get bought up no matter what.
Well, I don't know. So here's a Jay Berg text. He says, can you split electric wire better than barbed wire with the new Eliminator? So here's the story on that.
Okay.
A few years ago, we're at Rob Brooks's branding. And we got all the cattle rounded up. We got everything sorted. And then we wait for the wrestling crew to show up so we can start branding. Well, things went so damn well that we were like an hour and 40 ahead of time, right? So some people took off. They're going to go, these guys are going to go look at teepee rings. These guys are going to go do this. And Jay and I were like, well, there's a prairie dog town over here. And I just got my 6.5 set up with this burr scope. So we went over on top of the hill. We laid down. We started shooting, having a good time, flopping prairie dogs. And Rob put in a brand new fence, brand spanking new, like tight wires and everything. And I shot at a prairie dog on the other side of the fence, and I hit the wire, and ding, there it goes. I was like, no, like a brand new fence, no splices anywhere in the fence. And now, but yeah, you
should have acted like you were actually aiming for it and said, I'll fix it. I just wanted to show you how deadly accurate this thing was. So speaking of prairie dogs, I talked to a guy last night, owns I don't know how many acres down in Sioux County. He was surprised when I told him that I went out in the wintertime and shot prairie dogs and it was good shooting. He's like, they're out in the winter? And I was thinking, do you go down to your ranch in the winter and not see them out on sunny? I mean, that's some of the best shooting I've ever had, really. It's got them, 10 degrees, no wind and sunny. They love it. They come out.
Oh, absolutely. Somebody told me that too. They're like, the prairie dogs hibernate. I'm like, no, they don't. I'm like, what? I like, so I showed them a video. It was like snowbanks, little drifts out in the prairie dog town, and there were dogs everywhere. I was shooting. There's blood everywhere. Snowbanks were all red. I was like,
well, yeah,
even out there.
Yeah, even in Bismarck, we got like, I don't know what you want to call them, flicker tails. They're not prairie dogs, but I mean, when it snows, they come out too. You can see them running around on top of it. It's I tried to get Bakken to when he was mayor to get rid of that ordinance of shooting air rifles in town, just to get a permit with them air rifles with the suppressors on to go shoot them. But I don't know, maybe the city council didn't like that idea. But I don't know. I think that'd have been great because you can drive right by them on your bike. Really, I'm riding my mountain bike; they're everywhere. I'm afraid I'm going to hit them and wipe me out sometimes.
You need to do the Rocky Balboa. Get on foot and catch one on foot. Show your speed and agility.
Test this 53-year-old carcass on my quickness. Yeah, right.
Hey, why not?
That's not a bad. I should get my girls doing that to get them going real good for volleyball and make their quicks, right? I remember I told you that time Clay and I were doing a live, and one of them dropped into my window well here at my house. How it ever got where I'm at, I haven't seen a prairie dog within 1,000 yards of my place, and one of them come dropped right in the window well. He ended up getting the pink BB gun treatment. So haven't had a problem with him since. But yeah, I hopefully I do want to get out and do some prairie dogging in the winter again. I love doing that because they haven't been shot at in a while, and like me and you just said, they're out and nice. You can pretty much sit in the truck and do it like you have me doing at your place. I still remember I was going to get out, and what are you doing? Sit there. I'll angle you right up to it over the mirror. Okay, this is great.
That's one of the few great laws that I do appreciate in North Dakota Game and Fish is they allow us to do that from the vehicle for prairie dogs.
Yeah. So your deer never came back down there yet, huh? They're still wiped out.
There's a few, it's not like it used to be, Jamie. I mean, not even close. I guarantee you when we take a drive through the pastures, you'll see more elk and coyotes than you will deer. And
wow.
Yeah.
Even when your neighbor there plants that huge cornfield, man, you showed me that, was it wine rice, that huge cornfield they had? You don't get whitetails, can't make it in that, huh?
That's my biggest determination of why there's nothing left. And they silage everything. I mean, they huge feedlot, right? And I have yet, when I first moved back to the ranch, you could go down there and see 400 or 500 whitetails all over that pivot area. The whole pivot was filled with deer. And any time of the day right now, you can go over there and not see a single deer. Not a single one.
Wow.
That's how that's the biggest thing. That's a big indicator of what EHD can do. And that's just in a small area. But
you got bad deer country there. That big ravines coming out of your place into that. That was unbelievable there.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're looking at habitat, we got that.
Yeah, you had that creek. You got a creek that runs through there too, don't you? They come out of that big ravine. Those huge cottonwoods there look like they were 300 years old.
That's the Little Missouri River, baby.
Yeah,
It's one of the two rivers that flow north in the area in North Dakota.
You never did get them guys come. Remember, you said them military guys were talking about flying their Black Hawk in there and then landing and trying them 1,000-yarders, those snipers on the prairie dogs.
Yep. Yeah, that got turned down because that was when Obama got his second presidency, and they turned down. They did not want to do any of that extra training.
Oh man, you got to get a hold, man. That'd be so freaking badass seeing them Blackhawks coming up that river like that.
Yeah. Well, they wanted awesome. The biggest thing they wanted to test their latest sniper stuff is what they wanted to do, and they wanted.
What caliber were they going to use?
No idea. They asked me because that guy, the main dude, was when he was out here shooting with Keith Warren. You know, his whole thing there was after we got done, he was like, the way this is set up, your prairie dog town, he says, we could sit up on top of that rock hills up there. He said, and we could get at least a mile shot on that size to 1.5 miles because the prairie dog town expanded another 0.5 mile. And he said, if we could get those type of shots, he said, I said, I can do one better. You can go up to the branding corrals. I said, I can get you a 2-mile shot. And he's like, that's what interested him. He said, because he needs to have live animal type of like prairie dogs, because that's the circle that they want to hit. They want to hit something in that range from 2 miles, but they want them to move. They want them to, act different and not just stay in one spot like a target would. You know, it's one thing putting a steel target out there. But I said, yeah, and that's what they were excited about, but it never came to fruition because, I don't know, money got changed. No.
Well, so yeah, like you're saying, steel and prairie dogs. I've known a lot of guys who can hit steel like a champ, but you get them on a dog town, the humbling starts pretty quickly.
Yeah,
you know. Like somebody asked me, what was the best shot you think you ever made? And I said, I'm like 350 yards on a running prairie dog. 350? That ain't very far. I'm like, you know how big a prairie dog is when they're running?
Yeah.
You know, I got it I've done it a few times. I'm not saying I do it all, but I like one shot at them, and I mean, I feel damn good about a shot like that. You know, like a 350-yard gong sitting there. Yeah, I like shooting them, but it's not like it pumps your chest out.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the animal. I have a certain. That was my best shot on this, and this. This my elk this year was my best shot I've ever done on an elk. So that was.
Yeah, you said you got it right in the melon, didn't you?
Well, I got it. I double lunged it at 756 yards, and
nice.
Yeah.
Hey, read that comment, Scott. I got something to add to that.
Have any of you seen the lone antelope doe between the interstate lanes west of the Missouri River between Bismarck and Mandan? She's been there by herself since August.
Yeah. So my family and I, we have a pontoon in Lakewood, and we noticed her. Yeah, right about August, we noticed her on the other side to the southeast of the interstate, and then all of a sudden she's showing up there. She's been there by herself the whole time. I'm always almost worried that when I drive there, I'm going to find her dead on the side of the road. But yeah, she sits right in the middle, eats, huge body, just sits there and eats. You got no predators chasing her around. And yeah, I have seen her there, and people have mentioned it to me as well. I'm glad that was brought up because I'm always pulling for it to make it. Oh no, Josh! If you got hit right when I said it, man, she made it this far, man.
Yeah, she's no longer alive. Waylon got hit Thursday.
Oh no!
There you go, Bismarck. Man down. Now you know your pet antelope's gone.
Oh man, somebody should have got her because she's been fattening herself up. That'd probably been some good meat on the other side. She didn't get hit. That's too bad. I always look forward to seeing her there, but hey, she led a good life since August. I can tell you that. None chased her around, so. Man.
So
okay.
My question is, Josh or Waylon, are you guys the ones that hit her?
Yeah, they knew pretty quick.
Yeah.
Then it's a picture of your pickup headlight.
Wasn't Waylon. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. See, waiting for that day. I know that's what I said every time I drove over. I was looking, and yet it ended up happening. Okay, well, now I'm sure the coyotes will find her.
I wonder how long it's going to take for coyotes to come in with that much traffic. I bet I bet hawks and eagles and magpies and all those crows, and they're going to go after her first.
I have seen dead coyotes over and on not very often. Definitely
What?
dead. My buddy actually hit a deer there once, but yeah, I've seen dead coyotes here, not as often as deer. But
See, Josh said Game and Fish would not relocate her for fear of spreading diseases. What?
yeah, I laughed. I was wondering if he was joking or not. DOT cleaned her up. He said,
Yeah. Huh.
"Okay, dang."
There is what you
Josh,
need to do. You need to contact the DOT and ask, where do you put dead animals? Can I coyote hunt over that? That right there.
Just in a dump ground up here.
You think so?
I wouldn't think it. Why not?
You think in the land? I wonder if they let you coyote hunt on the landfill. Could you imagine sitting at night on a landfill? How many critters are coming in on that thing?
Oh my, yeah, raccoons and coyotes.
Oh Lord, would that be fun?
Yeah,
The next
you might get
next coyote tournament is
put
like,
it in
I'm
here.
going to the landfill.
the Bismarck Landfill coyote tournament, the first annual. Suppressor's mandatory.
That's technically out of town, isn't it? I mean, that's out of city limits. Or is
Close enough. Well, you put a good dent in your 5,000 rounds of Hornady if you went up there that night shoot.
Oh man, well, it depends on if you just go after coyotes or shooting anything that moved. Man, it'd be interesting to do that. I know, but like over in the feedlot, my neighbor's feedlot over here, on his dead pile, there's no coyotes that come in on that, and somebody says it's because how many like feedlots usually do a few more vaccinations, and if they something gets sick, usually pump it with some type of antibiotics or something, and they say that coyotes won't go after them after that. So
that
I don't know.
Could be true.
Yeah.
I'd be curious if anybody's listening to Scott's show and you work at the landfill, if you have one up there at night and just shined it, if you've seen a bunch of critters running around. I'd like to know that. I mean, it seems logical that there would be, right?
Yeah, I would think so. Unless they have it fenced off so tight, that I don't know if it is. I mean, if they chain link fence it all the way around, maybe the coyotes can't get into it.
Yeah, true. Raccoons could, so there's got to be a ton of them in there.
Said when my dad was in his teens, him and his buddies went to the city dump and shot rats. That'd be fun.
Marty told me about doing that once too, I think. Oh, here, Josh said that was true. Scotty said that's what Game and Fish said because people asked why they didn't relocate it. That's what they said. They didn't want to spread. What disease could a lone antelope possibly have that's lived there since August?
Say that again.
I said, what Josh said is true. That's why the Game and Fish didn't relocate. Why would they not relocate an antelope? How could she get a disease? She's been there since August.
I don't know.
I mean, what would she spread? Sounds like a bogus answer to me, but I'm not a biologist.
Here's the thing. Maybe that answer is an easy way instead of saying it's going to cost us $4,500 to try to get her caught. And then if somebody is driving by and they see you net her and she's thrashing and you jump on top of her or somebody shoots her with a dart and she lands, I can see these anti-people getting, I mean, it's probably easier just to walk away from it. I can see that.
Just to let a car hit it. I'd go along with that.
I mean,
I'd go
honestly,
along with that.
To dart and net something and relocate it, that's an expensive thing to do. And if anybody sees you and you're doing it the wrong way or it doesn't look humane or anything, oh my God, right? Life is over as we know it in the Game and Fish. I can see them not wanting to jump into that. Let's see here. Jim, guy who picked up along roads down here had pits on private property he dumped in. Okay. A guy who picked up along the roads down here just found some private property to dump it in. Got it. So I was headed to lead. Ryan Pagel and we went down to pick up my Razor, and I traded it in at Action Motorsports. And on the way down there, about halfway between Buffalo and Belfouche, around one of the big curves, there was a guy in the ditch picking up dead deer. And I don't know what happened. If it must have been two semis coming from either direction and a herd of like 40 or 50 deer. Because his pickup, he had a stock rack on his pickup and it was filled up, and there was probably 20 more deer laying there. I mean, it was a slaughter fest.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it was. I mean, his pickup was just
That had to be something to see there.
And that's the thing is, where are those guys dumping that stuff? Because that would be a great night hunt right there.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We don't have a lot of, I don't think we even had a dead animal. A couple of years ago we did, but I don't night hunt, but I mean, one of our renters there had a big, Black Angus down there. She was dead. I know where her bone pile is, but yeah, it almost to me didn't look like much was eaten on it when I'd swing out there and look at it. But who knows? Because it was there for quite a while. Maybe it was something like you said, Scott. He gave it some kind of shot and they didn't like the meat or something. I don't know.
I don't know either. Jay says the DOT and Game and Fish will not touch dead animals. He said he had a sick moose die next to his parents along highway north of Bismarck. Game and Fish refused to do anything and told my dad to remove it himself, when DOT said they wouldn't do it either. Interesting.
Well, you'd think they'd at least drag it in the ditch. I always think that too. Like I've seen like highway patrolmen drive by something like a dead animal on the road, and I'm like, wouldn't you just stop and drag it off the highway? Because people are going to swerve to miss that. Some people drive right over, but I mean, if a deer carcass is laying there, that's a pretty big target. You don't want to wreck your vehicle over. You'd think somebody, would get out and yank it off the road.
I don't know. We live in such a rural area out here. We see them, and usually the coyotes or something drags them away eventually. Except in the wintertime, I mean, they get froze up pretty hard.
I had a huge porcupine on 49 one morning going up to the ranch, and it was dark. And come back later that afternoon about 5, still there laying, and it looked like somebody clipped it a few times. So I actually pulled over and yanked them off the road. But yeah, that sucker land. I guarantee you, a sheriff or somebody had to drive by that thing. But I do my good Samaritan duty for the day. Remind me, Scott. I don't want to say it on here, but when you and I are up there, I got something to tell you about why Clay and I didn't do the state. We were going to do the North Dakota State Rifle. We had some senators that were getting on board, and Kelly was. But remind me why we put that off. I'll tell you off there at some point.
Let me quick off of YouTubers. Thank you guys for supporting us. Appreciate it. I got to get to feeding cows too, so thank you. Let's end this stream here.